Everyone, welcome to another webinar in our solar energy market series. I'm Erez Dolev, Managing Director here at RENVU. Today we are excited to have Gary Thompson, Regional Sales Manager at Fortress Power. He will speak about their 2023 roadmap and upcoming new products. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel and podcast platforms. And we will share links in follow-up email so you can listen again or share with others. Before we start, and while we're waiting for other people to join, let me provide some background on RENVU and our products and services. RENVU is a US-based solar equipment distributor established in 2012 with sales engineers who have engineering backgrounds. We have fulfillment facilities in California, New Jersey, and Texas. We're also investing significant capital into developing online tools to make it easy to get quotes, whether you're quoting projects or comparing pricing from other sources. I'll show you our online quote tool in a few moments. This year, we are planning to significantly increase our inventory across the country to avoid supply chain constraints we experienced in the last 2 years. This means we will have stable supply of commercial and residential modules, string inverters, optimizers, microinverters, batteries, racking, and other balance of system components. Let me highlight some of our popular products. We keep a healthy stock of solar hybrid inverters, which are the most popular inverters in our portfolio. They work seamlessly with Fortress Power, HomeGrid, and Pylontech low voltage batteries banks. If you're looking for cost-effective grid-tied and hybrid high-voltage energy storage inverters options, we offer Fortress Power. They have now high-voltage solution coming up. Also, Solis and Growatt inverters, which can be paired with high-voltage batteries from BYD and Pylontech. We also carry microinverters from Enphase, DuraRack, and AP Systems in addition, we'll have a good availability of Tigo optimizers and rapid shutdown. When it comes to solar panels, we have multiple options available on our shelves, such as VSUN 400 watt black on black, Longi 345s black on black, commercial Hyperion 540 watt and 535s, and Q cells 480 watt. And a large selection is incoming from Longi, Trina, Canadian, REC, and JA Solar. Our last webinar with Toledo Solar, cadmium telluride solar module, which has many benefits, such as additional 10% ITC, since it's a US-made module, better performance per square feet, and much more. Featured here are also PowerField. It's a simple ground mount ballast tracking system. You simply put this on the ground, filling it with gravel, and putting panels on top of it. Another product here is KB racking, a flat roof ballast system. If you have any questions about these products, just email our sales engineers at info@renvu.com, and we'll get back to you with any questions. We're committed to updating our commercial price list up to date with our current inventory and pricing. In the chat, we will be sharing a link to our live spreadsheet, which you can save and revisit as needed. This is a great resource when you're looking to purchase large quantities of modules or want to stay informed on market prices. Let me take a moment to introduce you to our BLIKIR residential carport, a versatile solar structure that offers many benefits. The BLIKIR carport is an excellent way to extend existing solar systems or provide an alternative solution where solar cannot be installed on a roof. The two-part carport shown here also offers a tandem solution with shared columns, allowing you to connect multiple carports when you need space for more than 2 cars. Designed to be assembled by a crew of 2, the carport doesn't require any specialized or heavy tools. As a solar structure, it's eligible for the ITC and comes with the iron reach system and under panel clamp that accept any solar module and inverter you want. Plus the BLIKIR EPDM T-gasket ensures watertight surface if you want. For added convenience and safety, you can also add decorative mesh to hide the solar components and electronics, and safety solar lights that can be attached to the front columns without any drilling or wiring. Additionally, the carport offers an option for EV chargers. We are selling with them NLX juice box, which has pre-drilled holes on the back columns to assemble them. And the BLIKIR carport is designed and fabricated in the USA with US sourced and made steel. It's galvanized and has 25 years warranty. The structure includes a P stamp from a structural engineer. It's capable of accommodating up to 24 solar modules, arranged in 4 columns of 6 modules each. The carport has basic load capacity of 35 pound per square foot snow load, which can be upgraded to 65 pound per square foot, and 175 miles per hour wind load, and seismic design category E. The 2-car carport measures 18 feet width and depth, and providing 9.5 feet of clearance. It features a 5-degree tilt. On the BLIKIR website, you can access the 3D model of both the tandem, which is here, and the standalone carport. We will share a link with you so you can explore the various components and get a better understanding of the carport's design. If needed, we can arrange a webinar or an deep introduction into the product. Okay, we have developed online tools on our website. You can log into our online design and quote tool. You can select what you wanted to quote, either just modules, inverters, or all of them. On the next page, you will see the selection of modules that we have on the shelf. You can also put your own module if preferred. There are several options of attachments. So if it's roof or ground mount or carports, and then for roof mount, you have different types of roof. And I selected here a metal roof. I'll select 2 arrays and several rows. I'll throw here several modules, and then you can decide if it will be in landscape or a portrait. Now I will take out the second array that I chose. Also landscape. Then you can select the racking manufacturer. Sometimes there will be multiple. Then roof attachments, color of the clamps and the racking, rails, the span that you want between the roof attachments, and the type of rail. Then you have a sketch of the 2 arrays and some instructions about how to assemble it. Next page will be selecting the inverters, what type of inverter you want. I'll select string inverters. Do you want energy storage or not? And I'll select yes, and Solarc as the inverter, 15K Solarc. Then Fortress eVolt Max battery bank, and then rapid shutdown, which is needed in this case. And the last page, you just select some balance of the system and EV chargers if you want. You check the box here and pick 2 EV chargers. On the left side, you can see the price per watt being updated as you're selecting products and changing selections. So that's a good tool for you to compare different products pricing. And if you're logged in, you will also see prices that are on your account. Last page, you see the bill of material, and you can click at the top to get a quote after checking those boxes of disclaimers, you will get a quote to your email and also be sent to your My Account order, where you can update the order, make changes, place the order, or just print PDF of this. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I think we can start now. We have a significant number of participants already. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel and podcast. We'll share the links in the follow-up email. As a thank you for joining us today, all participants will receive special offer. We'll offer $400 a gift card for purchases of a Fortress kit, so inverter and battery banks. And we will also offer $250 gift cards for purchases of SolarArc inverters. During the presentation and Q&A session, please use the Q&A button to ask any questions you may have. And without further ado, I will like to introduce Gary, who will be sharing his slide deck with us. Gary, over to you.
Thank you, Rez. Yeah, so appreciate everyone's time today. My name's Gary Thompson, Regional Sales Manager of Fortress Power. Today we're going to talk a little bit about who Fortress Power is as a company, our current products available, and then we have some new products that have just released or will be releasing soon this year, so we'll go over those as well. Then we'll have the Q&A at the end where you can answer any questions that you may have about Fortress Power. So without further ado, we'll begin. So my company, Fortress Power, we're a US-based manufacturer for LFP or lithium iron phosphate batteries and inverters. We've been in business for about six and a half years now. We have 3 regional offices throughout the United States, as well as a couple international offices in China and Puerto Rico. Since our inception, we've had over 25,000 installations in the US, Canada, Latin America, and international. So we do have quite a few batteries deployed in the field. And I believe that does a great testament to the reliability of the Fortress Power batteries, that we have a very low warranty issue rate for the units that are already installed. No, we have been a key lithium battery supplier for numerous government and utility entities. One that we're proud to note is that we provided the battery backup for SEPTA, which is the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority. Anyone who's ever been to the tri-states, will know how large their subway transportation system is. And what Fortress Power has done is we provide battery backup for all of their traffic signals throughout their railways. So it's a project that we're very happy to say that we took part in. Our company has a 3 gigawatt-hour manufacturing capacity. 3 warehouses across the U.S. in Pennsylvania, Miami, and also Los Angeles. And then at the end of this year, we're hoping to add some U.S. manufacturing as well. So that'll be a really exciting development. And I think there's a lot of end users and installers alike that would be happy to be offering a U.S. made, designed and engineered and manufactured product. So that's on the horizon for the end of this year. Then lastly, about our company, we're approved with most of the major financing partners in the industry. So if you're an end user, or if your end users are looking to be using financing and will have Fortress Power in their solar system, it shouldn't be that difficult to obtain the financing, since we have the relationships with all the major lenders in our industry. And then jumping into our current 48-volt product line, we have two main batteries that we offer. The first is the eVault Max 18.5 kilowatt hour unit, 48 volt. This is the tier 1 cells using this battery, automotive grade quality, which is the highest quality for battery cells. It's warranted for 10 years and 8,000 plus cycles. So you'll get a lot of use out of this battery. Our engineers believe it'll probably last 16 to 17 years total. So the end user will certainly get their money's worth with an eVault Max. For those of you that are in California, this is the largest single unit that's approved for SCHIP projects at 17.7 kilowatt hours on the AC side. The eVault Max is a very easy to install and sleek looking battery. The physical extent of the installation would be taking the battery cables from the unit and putting them onto the battery terminals of the inverter. It is a large unit at 500 pounds, but thankfully you can remove the side covers and take out the battery packs. And so you can just transport the shell, which is about 100 pounds, if it needs to go up into a basement or down into a basement or up into an attic. It can make it a lot easier to do so by taking off the side covers. The eVault Max provides the local monitoring through the front LCD display. That illustrates the battery's voltage, current, total energy, and state of charge percentage. eVault Max is a great choice for end users looking for whole home backup or off-grid, but it's also a nice choice for small commercial systems as well. This battery can be scaled up to 370 kilowatt hours or 20 units. The eVault Max works with most 48 volt hybrid inverters, can establish closed loop communications with those units. And Fortress Power has recently released our own 12 kilowatt unit that the eVault Max is compatible with as well. And if any of you are in jurisdictions where the installer or where the inspectors or HJH is really a stickler for certifications, the eVault Max does have the 9540 and 9540A certification. And we're working on the 9540 edition too, as we speak.
Eric is asking if the test results for the UL 9540A are available. Is it something
they
that
are. They should be on the website. If they're not, I'm happy to. I'll send it to RENVU, and then you can distribute that to your customers. The res.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Our second battery is the eFlex 5.4 kilowatt hour unit. This is our smaller, more versatile unit, hence the name. This is an indoor or outdoor rated unit, so it does offer some more choices in regards to the different types of applications it's a fit for. The eFlex is designed with an IP65 rated enclosure that really helps protect the unit from day-to-day dust and humidity. Not only that, but if you look at the enclosure here, there's ridges built into it. Those aren't put there for aesthetic purposes, but rather they're there to help the unit release heat quicker. And if you look at the three main reasons why a battery will degrade over time, it's heat, humidity, and dust. And so we feel with the enclosure that comes with the eFlex, it addresses all of those issues very well and will ensure for the longest battery life possible. The eFlex has several different mounting options. It can be left on the floor. Comes with a wall mount kit, and then we make a couple different cabinet options for it as well. It will also fit in a standard computer server rack. Similar to the eVault Max, it has closed loop communications with most 48 volt hybrid inverters, as well as works with Fortress Power's own unit. The eFlex could be a choice for small commercial applications as well. This unit is scalable up to 150 kilowatt hours, so you can have quite a few of these running in parallel for a system if it calls for it. And so I mentioned we have a couple different cabinet options for the eFlex. Now, the first is the DuraRack. This is a battery-only cabinet. It holds up to 4 eFlex units, or 21.6 kilowatt hours total. Similar to the enclosure of the eFlex, this also has an IP65 rated enclosure. And I think one of the nice things about this this cabinet is it does come with the battery cables and the bus bar built into it, so it'll allow for a quick installation. And if this is going to be stored in if the batteries are going to be in an outdoor cold weather environment, the DuraRack does have a mount built into it, so you can add a thermostat to the unit if needed. And so our second cabinet option is called the FlexTower. This is basically the DuraRack plus an enclosure on top of it. The top enclosure is for the inverter. And so if the end user is looking for a nice uniform all-in-one look, the FlexTower is a great choice for that. Not only that, but if it's going to be outdoors in a colder environment, I would recommend going with the FlexTower, since the inverter is going to put off heat that will help keep the batteries warm, in addition to the thermostat that you'll most likely need to add. And so if you're going to have an application more than 4 eFlexes or 21.6 kilowatt hours, you can have one FlexTower, and then you can add additional DuraRack cabinets adjacent to the FlexTower as needed, up to 150 kilowatt hours total. And so I did mention that we have Fortress Power has our own inverter. To those installers and to those that are already familiar with Fortress, this may be a new development. So we are very excited to announce this. Just recently, we have our first batch in to our U.S. warehouse. So these are now available. The inverter is a 12 kilowatt unit. Some of the highlights are that it provides 200 amp AC pass through to the main panel, and so a lot of the other inverters on the market pass through 50 amps or 75 amps. And if the end users wants to back up their whole main panel, then you're going to need to purchase multiple 48 volt inverters, which can be very expensive. Now, with the NV unit, since it can pass through 200 amps, it can eliminate the need for multiple inverters for a lot of different types of applications. It's a typo here. It's not 21 kilowatt output. It's 21 kilowatt input on the PV side. So I need to adjust the slide. So forgive me for that. But the Fortress Power NV is scalable up to 10 units. It has 3 MPPTs, and it also has a built-in rapid shutdown transmitter that's compatible with the APS rapid shutdown units. And then lastly, I will say I believe this is the most cost-effective 48 volt inverter on the market currently. Priced against competition, I believe this should run 15 to 20% to the inverter that has the closest specs to it. So I think this is going to be a really popular unit for Fortress Power, and not only that, not only on price, but having the 21 kilowatt PV input is great, but also being able to have one manufacturer to deal with for technical support, rather than having to deal with Fortress and Discover, or Fortress and Outback Power, Fortress and Snyder, Fortress and Solar. Having both the inverter and battery under one umbrella will make technical support a lot easier, and then if need be later on down the line, certainly for warranty support claims as well. So now this is just an illustration of the FlexTower cabinet, all-in-one cabinet. Up top here, you can see where the inverter goes, and then below on both shelves you have 2 eFlexes. So we do have some new products that we have just launched or are launching. One of the first is the Fortress Power Guardian. This is a monitoring gateway / application that allows the end user to view all the battery's vital statistics from their phone. But not only that, for installers, it's nice for systems that have the Guardian set up. You'll be able to make firmware updates to the battery remotely rather than having to go on site. I do realize that can be a major pain for installers to have to spend a couple hours or maybe even a few hours to go to a remote location just to update the firmware. So by having the Guardian accessory with your Fortress Power system, that'll eliminate that pain. We do have a high voltage line coming out. I suspect it'll be early Q3. It's still undergoing testing and has to go through certification. So I wouldn't be surprised if it got pushed back a little bit beyond the beginning of the third quarter. But sometime this year, we do have a high voltage product line coming out that we're really excited about as well. It's actually a full ESS. And so this is a picture from a past trade show. It's still a fairly new product, so I don't have a lot of data sheets and actual pictures of the unit, but this is from our trade show. And you can see on the bottom here, this is the battery unit. It's a stackable high voltage battery. There's the inverter also that comes with the system. And then lastly, I think which is most exciting is that it's also going to have the option for a smart energy panel as well. But starting with the battery, it comes in increments of 4.8 kilowatt hours and can expand up to 38.4 kilowatt hours. It's an indoor or outdoor unit. And what's nice about it is that it is going to be ultra thin. It's going to be less than 7 inches thick, so it'll fit up right up against the side of a house and look pretty good there, I think. The inverter is going to be 11.4 kilowatt unit with 4 MPPTs. I know that a lot of end users and installers prefer module level electronics, microinverters, or optimizers. But with 4 MPPTs, you can have a lot of different types of strings and should be able to address shading issues with that many, with having several multiple point power trackers. And then the energy panel, which I mentioned, this is a smart energy panel. It'll be able to act as somewhat of a sub panel. Can pass through 200 amps to the main panel for the end user. And you can combine multiple solar arrays, battery inverters, EV chargers, even a generator. And what's great about it is it has integrated load control for up to 12 circuits. And you can customize that and change that as needed if you want to curtail power consumption. So with products like Span and Savant on the market, end users are wanting to have more control over the panel than they used to. That's now an option now. And it really makes sense if someone's going to be spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a solar PV system. You should be able to have more control over your main panel and overall power consumption and circuits. So by providing a smart energy panel, I think that's really going to be the one of the future components of the solar PV system, in addition to energy storage. So this is just kind of a diagram here of how the system will work. On the right-hand side, you have the main panel. That will talk to the Allure smart energy panel. The smart energy panel will be connected to the meter, but will also be connected to your generator, your EV charger, and also your inverter as well. So it will really act as the brains of your overall power system. And then for those of you who do commercial or small commercial, we have two products. The first I'll talk about briefly here is the Espire Mini. This is a product that we just launched. Should be, I take that back. It hasn't launched yet, but it is launching in the next 2 months. So this will be a nice option for those looking for a very small commercial project, 82 kilowatt hours up to 270 kilowatt hours. This is a battery and inverter combined together. And so it's an indoor or outdoor ESS. It's a pre-wired system for a really fast and easy installation. I think this will be really popular even for large custom homes. Rather than having 10, 15 eVault Maxes, you can have one Espire Mini. So it'll be a lot easier to install, more space efficient, and really should look nicer than 10 Fortress batteries or 15 batteries of our competitors stacked up, or however they're aligned, just one clean, singular looking unit. And for those that do have larger commercial projects, our flagship product for this is the Espire 233. This is also battery and inverter, so this is a full-scale C&I ESS. This ranges on the battery side from 233 kilowatt hours up to 3.5 megawatt hours. And then on the inverter side, it starts at 125 kilowatts and can expand up to 625 kilowatts, or 5 inverters. The Espire Mini, we will be stocking that in the United States, but the Espire, that is a on-demand product, so it does need to be customized for every project. From when we receive the order to when it gets delivered, give yourself 4 to 5 months for that. It has to be manufactured, and then we have to transport it to the United States. So that's pretty much it on product. Covered the 2 main batteries that we currently have available, the eVault Max and the eFlex 5.4. We covered some of the new products coming out as well. And then I guess my closing point will be, in addition to having great options available for end users looking for whole home backup or small commercial applications, we have a really great technical support team. We understand that energy storage and batteries can be difficult to do, especially if it's your first time working with a lithium battery. So we have a great support team in place. It's not difficult to get a live human being on the phone if you're designing a project, or if you're in the field trying to commission a battery. Our support team is readily available to help and troubleshoot for those type of situations. And in addition to having the support team, I encourage all installers to take a look at our education and training. We have a really nice training portal with not only documentation, but there's a lot of videos in there as well. Best practices, general installation videos for Fortress Power batteries, introduction to all of our different batteries, and a more technical discussion than we're doing today here. Just everything you probably would ever want to know and more about Fortress Power batteries, if you're going to be installing them, is on the website. So I certainly encourage you to take a look at that if you're going to be installing a Fortress Power system for the first time, or just want to refresh on stuff. Yeah, so that's it for today. That's all I have. Again, I appreciate everyone's time, and happy to answer any questions that you all might have now. I guess I'll just I'll start with the open question and answers. First question by Suresh is, looks like you have a 11 kilowatt system with a Grow-On 11.4 inverter, and you want to know if you can add our batteries to that. I'm not too familiar with Grow-On, but I don't believe it's a 48 volt inverter, and so Our batteries can work with that in a AC coupled capacity. Yeah, you would still need to use an additional 48-volt hybrid inverter, such as the Fortress Power unit or Solar or Outback, to AC couple into your existing solar PV system. So
I think
that is
that
possible.
Groat has their own batteries for their inverters. So either, I mean, in this case, I'm not sure that the mean is storage. So in this case, AC coupled will be the way to go.
Yeah, the only way to do that would be to AC couple. And Fortress Power batteries can AC couple into any existing array up to 22 kilowatts. So next question from Daniel. I've not used Fortress. I'm interested in the grid type backup and microinverter solar storage solution. Does Fortress offer a product to line up with this, including transfer switching for mains and generator? At this time, no. Unfortunately, we do not offer a micro inverter solar storage solution. I think the only option for that would be similar to the last system that I addressed. We could AC couple into a micro inverter system using one of the compatible 48-volt inverters, but we don't have any microinverter solutions of our own, and I'm not aware of any 48-volt inverters out there that have a microinverter. Neither. Question from Howie: Are there instructions available for taking out the battery packs from the eVault Max? I think it should be in the instruction manual. If it's not, then you would need to contact technical support to get more details how to remove the battery packs. Will the NV question from Eric: Will the NV inverter support bi-directional chargers for electric vehicle charging and home power backup? The answer to that is yes, it will. Is the NV 12 kilowatt a new Fortress design or a white label offering? It's a bit of a hybrid, because we have partnered with an inverter manufacturing for this offering, but it's not just a white label off the shelf from them. They have we have had them customize this inverter to meet the specs for the Fortress Power units. And so it's a little bit different than some of the other white labels on the market. Question from Deb: Is the battery compatible with SolarEdge inverters? Is the battery available in Northern California this month? Our battery is not compatible directly with SolarEdge inverters. We would need to AC couple with a 48-volt hybrid inverter into a SolarEdge system. The batteries are available in Northern California, though. We have great stock of both the eVault Max and the eFlex unit. Question from Matthew: So the NV product will start the optional standby genset. I'm not sure on that one. If you could please clarify it, I'll try to answer that at the end here. I'm not sure what genset means, though. My apologies. Question from Bill: Our farm is off grid and we're using an 18.5 kilowatt Fortress with Schneider. We would like to have another freestanding system to support 100 amp guest quarters instead of expanding our existing system. I think that would depend if they're if they would be sharing the same panel or not. I would probably need to bring technical support into this question, Bill, for this one. I don't want to give you bad information. Question from Randy: is the Espire Mini available in single or three-phase? It's the three-phase only. Question from Jeff: will the high voltage systems have the ability to work directly with DC fast chargers, eliminating the conversion to AC and then back to DC? That I'm not sure of. I'd have to check with our product team. Question from Joshua: is there an option for the Allure system to expand capacity in parallel, or is it limited to a single 200 amp system? That's a good question. I do not know. I'll get you an answer though. I will say at least for our 48 volt line with the NV, it can pass through 200 amps to the main panel. If someone does need to back up 400 amps, you would need 4 units in total. It is a possibility, but after the 200 amps, we're a bit conservative, so adding one NV will only add an additional 100 amp output, so you'll need 4 units in total to get to 400 amps for those systems that have a really large panel. Question from Joshua: are there plans for the Fortress Power and RENVU system to interface with Savant Power? I believe so. I think they're working on that, so hopefully we can have that integrated with Savant at some point this year. What is Fortress's recommendation for adding to an existing system after 1 or 2 more years? We really don't recommend to add to an existing system after 1 year. It is possible, but you're basically going to be the new battery is going to be a bit compromised by the older batteries in the system, and so you can do it, but we don't recommend it after 1 year. When you refer to a FlexTower thermostat on an outdoor installation, what heat source are you expecting? I'm referring to just a small heating unit that you can add to the FlexTower, something that can be purchased at an electrical distributor. Usually these type of heating units run $50 to $80. Does Fortress Power have any plans for a V to G solution? I'm not sure what that acronym V to G means. If you could please retype that, I'll get that at the end here. Is any of your product line currently made in the United States? Unfortunately, no. Everything is manufactured in China. Question from Daniel: are you making a battery that can pair with this inverter? I think you're referring to the NV inverter that we covered in the slideshow. If that's what you're referring to, both 48 volt batteries, the eVolt Max and the eFlex, are both compatible with that unit. Gen set equals generator set. Would the NV product replace the transfer switch, and also would it start the generator when needed automatically? Yes, it would. The NV does come with the automatic transfer switch already built into it, so we would be able to start up the generator. V to G is vehicle to grid. So I guess the question was, does Fortress Power have any plans for a vehicle to grid solution? At this time, no, we do not.
Okay. If anybody have any further questions to Gary or to our sales engineers, you're welcome to send them to info@renvu.com, and we will make sure to answer all those. And we will also collect some answers from a Fortress technical team to questions that we didn't manage to answer today. As a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and will be shared with you in a follow-up email in the following few days with some offerings. Thank you again for joining us today, and thanks, Gary, for sharing your knowledge, and have a great rest of your week. We look forward to connecting with you soon.